2025. It's a year that even in 2020 seems so distant in the future. What would the world look like in the 25? Would the fallout of COVID have finally washed away? Would people, media, and consumption mature? Would everything continue down its path of indeterminate resolutions? Why did you make this video, Kool-Aid? These are all valid questions. However, the general impact of 2025 is more abstract. It's not about the year's contents, its cultural effects, or its political events, despite these things rightly comprising a large portion of this year's legacy. No, the subject of this video is 2025. On the surface, 2025 isn't exactly intriguing. It's the 2025th year of the Anno Domini in the Gregorian calendar, the 25th year of the third millennium, the 25th year of the 21st century, and the 6th year of the 2020s decade. Literally speaking, this is the reality for all years on the calendar. A year is simply a full rotation of the Earth around the Sun. However, we as humans, and me in particular, like to add meaning to seemingly trivial things. If one applies such meaning, we can see that, extending beyond itself, this year in question stands out on its own. 2025 is a benchmark year, a middle ground, a meeting between differing sides, a bridge between the first half of the 2020s and the second, another between the first quarter of the 21st century and the next, a once-in-a-25-year phenomenon. It carries the theme all years ending with a 5-half, one of transition, a checkpoint. Historically, some of these years do have their significant events, but outside of them, it's hard not to view their thematic significance. Almost every one of these years, especially since the 20th century, seem to never fail at defining the zeitgeist of their decade. If you were to take a video filmed in 1995, chances are it's looking 90s. Take one in 2015, and it's looking 2010s. One in 1985, one in 2005, 75, 65, 35, 45, 2025. The difference of decade in these videos are stark, and dare I say, even seems to be growing with each decade. They're inextricably linked to their respective decades, but they're tied to their respective years too. Why is this? What makes these years define their decade? Well, to put it in the simplest terms I can, the reason for this 5 aura is a product of two sides, those being the early half of the decade and the late. Of course, there's also the middle, but due to the way numbers look, it's hard not to superimpose this distinction over the other. These videos don't not lean into one side of the coin, they lean into both. They're counterweight to each other. The early retains a sizable chunk of the zeitgeist of its previous decade, with 2020 being a notable exception, but as the years go on, that chunk slowly but surely fades away. The 2010s are an excellent example of this. Take any video from 2010, and it's honestly hard to decipher if it's late 2000s or early 2010s. Go to 2015, and the difference in quality is very noticeable. And go further to 2019, and what you're left with is only the zeitgeist of the 2010s, almost none of the 2000s, and with small traces of the 2020s heading in. Though this is true for practically any decade of the last 200 years, the 2010s are the most recent shining example. In fact, there may never be such a stark difference in surface level quality for the remainder of the century. But maybe I'm overreaching here. So let's go back to 2025. That's another thing. 2025 sounds interesting to say too. It's only 3 words long, 5 syllables, and in Roman numerals, only 5 letters. It may sound weird to attach thematic complexity to a year, let alone a number, but 2025's paramount themes, laid out so neatly right in front of you, can't go unnoticed. Whereas 2024 is a year standing on a precipice, and with its own merits worthy of mentioning, 2025 is a year standing on that other side of the precipice. Though the year 1925 still stands as a quote-unquote bridge year, its successor 100 years later manages to stand on its own as not just a bridge year, a one-time event, but also as a year that perfectly defines itself. Simply put, there's no other year on the Gregorian calendar, or one close enough, that captures the elegancy of 2025. 2125? Maybe, though the second digit is a pointy odd number and not an even round number. 3025? Perhaps, though the first digit is an odd number with its completely young theme surrounding it. And what of 2425, 2525, 4025, or even 5025? These are all good years in their own rights, and yet all of them are outside the 21st century, hundreds and hundreds of years from now. And even when the calendar eventually gets to them, none will outmatch the precise definition of 2025. Among the many sour memes this year, one which was a motivator behind this video was the Big 25, used to refer to older irrelevant memes that don't reflect their popularity anymore in the current climate. Funnily enough, this meme itself is almost certainly destined to join that group, and even if it doesn't, it wouldn't sound as impactful. When someone says the Big 24, the Big 26, the Big 27, or even the Big 30, in my honest opinion, none sound nearly as titular, resonant, or all-encompassing as the Big 25. This meme itself, while destined to die, reminded me in 2024 when I first heard of Project 2025, and, not trying to get political here, thinking that it just sounded cooler and more impactful than Project 2029. Setting aside what actually happened in the years themselves, no other year until 2050 is really as significant as a 25. Put together, and definitely abstractly and personally speaking here, it manages to effortlessly combine the firm redness of the number 5 and the simplicity of the number 2. When you let the contents of this year fade into the background and look at it by itself, 2025 is thought-provoking. 5 after 20, 25 after 20, the year of the Anno Domini and 2025. Quite frankly, even with its real-world events, it's beautiful. It's a quarter of the way through, a benchmark, a window to reflect, a once-in-a-quarter century year, a gateway from one phase to the next, a speed bump, a stoplight to dwell in and look back on the varying themes and experiences given since the last. And, to me, that's interesting.